Matt, frustrating afternoon. Even more frustrating for the fact that we'd actually got ourselves in front and to concede the equaliser than it would have been had it finished 0-0.
Yes, yeah, definitely, because we've taken the lead there. A very bitty first half, a very stop-start first half, and but second half, obviously pure domination in terms of possession and moving the ball and trying to get into good areas. But I thought they defended very well. I thought it was solid in their 2 banks of 4 and got good experience there, and restricted us to a few chances. But we certainly looked the ones in ascendancy to go and score, get the moment from a set piece and urge the penalty, and yeah, we're looking very comfortable right up until the end.
And then just about, I think, the second shot of the game, five minutes from the end, the equaliser, a bit of almost a sucker punch.
Yeah, it was. I think you're right. They had the first shot in the first minute, I believe. So I shot very early on. But other than that, I thought we even before they had a man sent off, I thought we were the more team in the ascendancy. And then when he gets sent off and Eastie comes off, which is, I'm guessing, 35-36 minutes, like 10 minutes before half time. It was a bit stop-start there until half time, but then we spoke to them at half time. A good performance, really hard to be impatient to try and break them down. Got our moment, scored the goal. And again, they changed their shape, they make all their substitutions, they obviously got nothing to lose and throw the bodies forward, but even then we're just fully in control, fully comfortable in the game, but just one moment, and it seems to be one moment this season on several occasions, has just cost us. And today, of course, Kizzy doesn't mean to slip over, but they get down the side, Kizzy slips, and they square it across, set it back, and suddenly we find ourselves at 1-1.
And people always say it's difficult to play against 10 men, and obviously sometimes people wonder why it should be difficult to play against 10 men, but I think this afternoon was possibly an example of how it's difficult to play when you're then playing virtually attack against defence for long times.
Yeah, exactly, and so it doesn't turn into a normal game. It's not something that you're used to doing or playing against in a competitive game. So yeah, it does become a little bit false, and it does become a little bit frustration. You just got to keep making sure the players stay patient in what they're doing. So yeah, it becomes a little bit of a game that is not normally one that you'd see. But as I say, I thought we dealt with that reasonably well, and we looked balanced and switched it and moved it and were patient enough to then wait for our chances.
And the advantage of having the extra man was slightly taken away, I guess, by the fact that Craig Eastman had to go off in the same incident. You lose your captain. Yeah,
that was really frustrating. Really nasty facial injury there. So a swollen eye and his nose as well. So we'll see how he is in the next couple of days.
And presumably it must make him a doubt for Tuesday night at Northampton.
Yeah, I don't think he wasn't concussed, so I don't think there's an issue that way. He was completely fine himself. It's just literally so we'll see how the swelling goes down the next couple of days.
And after that after the equaliser, we really didn't get much of a chance to put Walsall under pressure, and the game rather petered out a bit.
Exactly, and they just went back to their shape 4-4-1, and they defended really solidly, to be fair to them.
And it's been a good week though, winning at Wimbledon, going through to the Papa John's, and then a point this afternoon. Got to remember we lost the game, so a point this afternoon finishes a good week, and now into 2 difficult away games.
Yeah, you're right. At the start of last Saturday, you would have taken 4 points from the 2 league games and progression through against Oxford and the Papa John's. Of course you would have taken that. You'd have been delighted with that, and that's what we've got. But obviously in a mad way, some draws feel like wins and some feel like defeats, and today it would naturally feel not a positive draw for us, but we haven't lost the game.
Patience and build up in a lot of the attacks, and the ball knocked into the middle. Were you a bit frustrated occasionally that there wasn't more pressure on the centre backs when the balls went into the area?
Yeah, a little bit more bodies in the box at times. There was frustration at a few things, but it's different. It's difficult when you're trying to switch it, and then centre forwards coming off to try and get into the hole there to then maybe turn at them, and then suddenly we got it wide and getting in the box. So a little bit of frustration at times in certain things, but we win 1-0. I'm certainly not talking about that now.
Yeah, and Walsall winding the clock down from the moment the player was sent off, but obviously then speeded up again once we score, which changes things slightly as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's what everyone would do. I don't think we'd be doing any different the other way around. So, yeah, of course they're going to try and slow the clock down. Of course they're going to try and time waste. But yeah, it's not just Walsall would do that. I think if it was the other way around, we'd be doing exactly the same. That's football. That's professionalism. That's trying to get away with what you can get away with. So there's no complaints on that from my point of viev.
Fine. And looking forward now Tuesday night at Northampton. That's where the away form took off last season, and hopefully a repeat performance on Tuesday evening.
Yeah, we've gone and had a great result at Wimbledon last week. We go to Northampton on Tuesday, which will be a really tough game against a good side. But like you say, we managed to get a great win up there last week, and then we go to Stockport, who we did well against in the National League as well.
Brilliant. We'll see you up there, Matt. All the best there, and thanks very much.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.